Okay, guys, so I'm going to walk you through the second page. I'm not sure that the video aligns with these, so you can use this to help you. How do I write an expression using exponents? Okay, so our first example shows us our base. Our base is 2, so we know that our base is 2, and then count up how many 2's you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would mean our exponent would be 2 to the 5th. And then if we take that a step further, you would do the math, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. But we just want to write it using exponents, so we're going to stop there, okay? Now this next example has 2 different bases. You have a 2, and you're multiplying that by a -5. How many 2's do you have? There's 2, so that's 2 squared. How many -5's do you have? 1, 2, 3, so that's to the 3rd power. Okay, and we're stopping there because we're just writing with exponents. We can have variables as well. So in this one, we have x times y. Count your x's, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count your y's, 1, 2, 3. And we can do this with rational numbers as well. 1/3 is our base. How many of those do we have? 1, 2, 3. This shouldn't have been here. Okay, so that's writing using exponents. And now we're going to talk about evaluating, so actually getting that power, getting that product. 2 to the 6th, your base is 2, and it's saying you're having 6 of those. Chunk it. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got one more, 64. Okay, so this would equal 64. Going to pause a minute. You can pause the video to get that written down. I'm going to have to erase to fit the rest on. -4 to the 3rd power. -4 is our base. How many of those do we have? We have 3. Now, this goes back to what you learned in 7th grade with your integers. A negative times a negative is a positive. And a positive times a negative makes a negative. Look at that. We're back at 64. -64. Again, I'm going to pause. You can pause this. Write down what you need. Maybe rewind it. Listen to me again. I'm going to erase. With a rational, 3/4 is our base. So that entire rational is the base. We're going to do 3/4 times another 3/4. 3/4 squared. Now remember, as a 7th grader, multiplying rational numbers, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. 3 times 3, 4 times 4. And then you check for simplification. Can 9/16 be simplified? No. So that would be your final product. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to do some algebra. And with the algebra, we use substitution. I'm telling you what m equals and n equals, and you're going to plug those in. M is -3 and n is 2. So here we're going to do -3 squared. I put that in parentheses because I want to do the -3 twice. Plus 2 minus a -3 to the 3rd power. These are quite complicated. What you're going to see on your own on Wednesday will not be this complicated. -3 squared is -3 times negative 3, and a negative times a negative is a positive 9. PEMDAS, do what's in the parentheses first. What's 2 minus a negative 3? Remember, subtraction means opposite, so it actually becomes 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then we're going to take that to the third power. So we still have this 9. 5 to the third power means 5 times 5 times 5, which somebody told us earlier in class, I think it was Nolan, that's 125. And then add those two. Maybe you have to do side math. $134. Okay. Two to the nth minus n to the third. So this time we're going to substitute in for the exponent. 2 to the nth, n is 2, so 2 squared, minus n to the third, 2 to the third. 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 4 minus 8. Think back to your integers from 7th grade. This is a battle, positive and negative. Subtract. It's 4. And keep the sign of the integer that has the greatest distance from 0. Which is further from 0, 4 or 8? 8. 8 is negative, so it's a negative 4. Last one, m squared minus n squared. So we're doing negative 3 squared minus 2 squared. Negative 3 squared. Negative times negative is a positive 9. 2 squared is 4. And 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay. Use this to help you fill in your notes if you had trouble using that other video, and then try the PDF tomorrow. We'll go through this again in class on Thursday to clarify any questions you might have.